Fact 1. Jupiter's rotational velocity is so substantial that a day on its surface spans less than 10 hours. Its diameter, being 11 times that of Earth, allows it to complete a rotation quicker than any other planet in the solar system. This phenomenon leads to the generation of potent hurricanes, such as the Great Red Spot, which has persisted for over 300 years.
Fact 2. On the Moon, the ability to jump is 6 times greater than on Earth, given the same exertion. This phenomenon is attributed to gravity, which is merely 1/6 of Earth's. Consequently, astronauts wearing their spacesuits would easily ascend about a meter with each jump, giving the impression of slow-motion footage.
Fact 3. In the vacuum of space, familiar sounds do not exist because waves require a medium for transmission. Thus, even if a spacecraft were to detonate nearby, the occurrence would be visually apparent but entirely soundless. Astronauts consequently depend on radio communication as their primary means of interaction, rather than their sense of hearing. The silence encountered in space is a tangible physical state, not a metaphorical concept.
Fact 4. The duration of a day on Venus surpasses that of its year. The planet's rotational speed is so minimal that one turn around its axis requires 243 Earth days, whereas a complete revolution around the Sun is accomplished in 225 Earth days. This implies that a Venusian morning can be more extended than the entirety of spring on Earth.
Fact 5. The expanse between Earth and the Moon is sufficient to contain all the planets in the solar system, from Mercury to Neptune, with surplus space. The mean distance, around 384,000 kilometers, seems insignificant on maps, yet in cosmic terms, it is enormous. Journeys to the Moon are not a mere hop, but a flight across a substantial void.
Fact 6.
In theory, Saturn possesses the capability to float in water. Its mean density is below that of water, registering at 0.69 grams per cubic centimeter. Although an ocean of adequate dimensions is not available, the principles of physics suggest that the colossal body adorned with rings would rest upon the surface, akin to a stopper.
Fact 7. One day on Mercury spans 176 Earth days. This outcome stems from gravitational resonance, a condition where the planet completes 3 axial rotations for every 2 revolutions around the Sun. Consequently, a Mercurian dawn arrives less frequently than Earth's half-year intervals. Fact 8. The existence of diamond planets in space is a known phenomenon. One such example is 55 Cancri E, a super-Earth with a mass 8 times that of our planet. It is theorized that this celestial body could be composed almost entirely of carbon, in the forms of graphite and diamond. The potential value of such a planet amounts to trillions of Earth's economies, assuming its extraction were feasible.
Fact 9. Consider the Sun to be as small as a doorknob. Under this condition, Proxima Centauri, the star closest to us, would be located 400 kilometers distant. The void between these stellar objects is not simply extensive, but rather almost unfathomable. Even the most rapid probes would spend millennia in transit to reach the nearest stars.
Fact the 10th. A salty ocean is active under the frozen crust of Enceladus, a moon of Saturn. Geysers emerge from fissures at the southern pole, ejecting water vapor and organic substances into space. This celestial body is considered a principal site for the search for extraterrestrial life throughout the solar system.
11th fact. Black holes possess the ability to produce sound. During the year 2003, astronomers successfully registered low-frequency fluctuations in the gas surrounding a black hole within the Perseus cluster. The frequency, amounting to 1 beso per billion years, is characterized as an authentic cosmic hum and stands as the lowest note identified to date.
Fact 12. The rings of Saturn are fading away. They are made up of ice and dust, and the planet's gravity causes them to fall onto it as a form of precipitation. Projections indicate that the rings will completely disappear in 100 million years. We are presently experiencing a fleeting period when their observation is possible.
Fact 13. Space possesses an odor. Astronauts, upon their return from extravehicular activities, reported the smell on their spacesuits to be akin to welding fumes, cooked meat, and gunpowder. This is caused by the reaction of oxygen in the airlock with energetic particles that have become affixed to the suit's material. Fact 14. The solitary planet B77410 is located at a distance that is 1,000 times Earth's distance from the Sun. It completes an orbit around the star in tens of thousands of years, and its orbital path is so elongated that astronomers have not yet been able to compute its full trajectory, as its motion is exceedingly slow. Fact 15. On the Moon, temperatures in shaded areas can reach -170 degrees Celsius, and on the side exposed to sunlight, they can ascend to +120 degrees. The absence of an atmosphere means heat does not linger, and the change from warmth to cold is nearly immediate. The 17th fact establishes that light from the sun reaches Earth in a duration of 8 minutes and 20 seconds. Anything we perceive in the sky is essentially a representation of a past moment. If the sun were to instantaneously cease to exist, we would still be bathed in its light for a period of 8 minutes, oblivious to the impending catastrophe. Fact 17. On Uranus, the situation is almost entirely reversed. The planet's axis is tilted at an angle of 98 degrees, meaning it effectively travels its orbit in a sideways orientation. This condition causes days and nights that last for half a year, where a single hemisphere can remain out of the sun's sight for a period of 42 Earth years. The 18th fact states that the spacecraft Voyager 1 is transmitting signals from a distance of more than 22 billion kilometers. It has exited the solar system, but its energy reserves are depleting. It is anticipated that in the year 2025, the connection will likely be severed permanently, and humanity's message will fade into silence. Fact 19. The star UY Scuti, classified among the largest celestial bodies known. Its radius is roughly 1,700 times that of the Sun. Should this star occupy the Sun's position, its surface would extend as far as Jupiter's orbital path. Light needs an hour and a half to travel from the star's core to its outermost edge. Fact 20. The planet WASP-12b is situated so near its star that a full year on its surface concludes in just 26 hours. Its gravitational pull has elongated it into an egg-like shape, and it is slowly vaporizing. Scientists are monitoring the dissipation of its atmosphere into space, presenting a rare chance to witness the destruction of a world as it happens. Fact 21. At a speed of about 400,000 kilometers per hour, the Milky Way and the Andromeda Galaxy are on a collision course. In 4 billion years, they are fated to merge into one immense galaxy. Although stars are unlikely to collide, the celestial panorama will be altered permanently. Fact 22. Blue sunsets are observed on Mars. The planet's atmosphere is highly tenuous, and the dust present within it disperses red light while permitting blue light to pass. This leads to a reddish sky during the day, and conversely, at sunset, the solar disk is a dim yellow, framed by a cool blue color. Fact 23. The magnetic field of Earth acts as a safeguard against the solar wind, a flux of charged particles. Were it not for this field, the atmosphere would likely have been dissipated into space, as is presumed to have been the case on Mars. Auroras are an incidental outcome of this protection, serving as a tangible depiction of the invisible barrier. Fact 24. Rogue planets. These are objects with a size similar to Jupiter, and they do not orbit any star.
Hundreds of millions of such objects are present in a single galaxy. They are cold, dark worlds traveling through the void, devoid of both light and heat, experiencing only an unending night. Fact 25th. The sun is continuously exhibiting flares, which are energy emissions equivalent to the power of billions of nuclear bombs. The most potent of these can reach our planet, inducing magnetic storms and causing disruptions in radio communication. In 1859, one such flare prompted an auroral display reaching the Caribbean and led to the burning of telegraph stations. Fact 26th. The space between stars is not perfectly empty. Within each cubic centimeter of this space, there is an estimated 1 hydrogen atom. As a point of comparison, a cubic centimeter on Earth contains around 10 to the 19th power molecules. The cosmos is very close to an absolute vacuum, but not entirely. Fact 27th. The initial temperature of the Big Bang was such that the first atoms were able to form only after the passage of 380,000 years. Up until that point, everything existed as an extremely hot plasma, impermeable to light. It was only after the universe cooled that it switched on the light, resulting in the appearance of the cosmic microwave background. Fact 28th. The exoplanet Korat 7b, situated 480 light-years away from Earth, experiences rain composed of molten stones. The temperature on the sunlit side ascends to 2,000 degrees. Rocks melt and vaporize due to this heat, leading to the formation of clouds. These clouds then precipitate as hot lava. Fact 29th. In the vacuum of space, an individual becomes unconscious after 15 seconds. The absence of a spacesuit causes blood to boil, lungs to rupture, and skin to bubble due to pressure, not heat. Fatalities occur after 90 seconds, yet a chance of rescue exists if one re-enters the airlock within the first 30 seconds. Fact number 30. Hoag's object, a galaxy resembling an eye, stands out as one of the most perplexing. Its nucleus consists of a stellar circle, which is enclosed by a ring of almost perfect geometry. The interval between these formations is characterized by emptiness. The process by which such a structure came into being is yet to be elucidated. It is neither a ring wave nor a product of a collision. Fact 31. Light traveling through the cosmos has the ability to curve. This effect is termed gravitational lensing. The presence of mass, such as that of a black hole or a galaxy, causes the fabric of space to warp, and light originating from distant celestial bodies will circumvent this mass, much like a brook navigates around a boulder. The outcome of this is the capacity to perceive a single entity in several distinct positions concurrently. Fact 32nd. The planet Gliese 581c is deemed potentially suitable for life. It resides in the habitable zone of its star and is 1.5 times the size of Earth. However, it is conceivable that it is covered by a thick atmosphere of greenhouse gases, leading to surface temperatures hotter than an oven. Fact 33rd. The danger to orbital stations from space debris is significant. Hundreds of thousands of pieces of debris, from tiny screws to inactive satellites, are in orbit around Earth. Even a fragment the size of a pea, moving at 7 kilometers per second, could puncture the International Space Station's protective plating. Fact 34th. Neptune is characterized by the swiftest winds within the solar system, with speeds surpassing 2,000 kilometers per hour. This is equivalent to twice the speed of sound on Earth. The question of how such a tempest can occur on a planet situated so far from the sun persists as one of the enigmas of planetary meteorology. Fact 35th. A notable observation is that astronauts in orbit gain 2 to 3 centimeters in height. This occurs because weightlessness allows the spine to expand, resulting in a bodily stretch. This effect is not permanent. Once they return to Earth, their height quickly reverts to its standard measure. But while in space, individuals are slightly taller than their terrestrial selves.
Fact number 36 states that gravity has an effect on time. Close to objects with significant mass, time experiences a slowdown. Satellites that are part of global navigation systems recalibrate their timepieces because time moves at a faster rate in orbit compared to the Earth's surface. If these adjustments were not implemented, GPS would accumulate errors of several kilometers each day.
Fact 37th. The coldest known location in the universe is the Boomerang Nebula. Its temperature is just 1 Kelvin, which is 1 degree above absolute zero. This is colder than the cosmic microwave background radiation. The reason for this is that gas from a dying star is expanding so rapidly that it carries heat away.
Fact 38. Among the universe's most brilliant entities is quasar 3C273, notwithstanding its distance of more than 2 billion light-years. Its luminosity is greater than that of 1 trillion suns. The origin of this is a supermassive black hole, which engulfs matter so extensively that it is discernible from Earth through an amateur telescope. Fact 39th. The planet Mars features Mount Olympus, recognized as the highest volcano in the solar system. Its altitude is about 22 kilometers, which is nearly 3 times the height of Everest. Mars' atmosphere does not degrade mountain slopes with the same intensity as Earth's. As a result, the volcano resembles a massive plateau.
Fact 40. A notable effect for astronauts during their missions is a decline in their taste perception. This is attributed to microgravity, which results in fluid retention in the upper torso, leading to nasal congestion. This congestion, in turn, diminishes their capacity to detect aromas. As a result, there is a frequent demand for strong condiments such as horseradish, Tabasco, or wasabi to provide some discernible taste experience.
Fact 41. In the observable universe, roughly 4 stars are generated every second. The predominant type among them are red dwarfs, which are faint and cold but have a long lifespan. These stars can persist for hundreds of billions of years, a period considerably exceeding the universe's current age. Fact 42nd. The reverse side of the Moon exhibits a greater number of craters than its observable portion. The satellite is devoid of an atmosphere, but the Earth offers partial shielding to the side oriented towards it from meteoritic impacts. Consequently, one half of the Moon functions as a protective shield, while the other presents as a surface marked by numerous strikes, much like an unforgiving arena.
Fact 43rd. White dwarfs that endure a supernova event and continue their existence by accreting matter from a companion star are referred to as zombie stars. At times, they experience renewed bursts of activity. These celestial bodies seem resistant to extinction, initiating new cycles contrary to physical principles.
Fact 44th. The rays emitted by cosmic particles can span millions of light-years and still present a hazard. The energy contained within some of these particles is so substantial that a single particle can be likened to a tennis ball in motion at a speed of 100 kilometers per hour. The crucial difference lies in its atomic scale size. Fact 45th. Situated at the center of our galaxy is the supermassive black hole known as Sagittarius A star. It possesses a mass 4 million times greater than the Sun and impacts the movement of all stars located near the Milky Way's core. Despite its considerable dimensions, direct observation was only made possible in 2022, when it was captured as a shadow against illumination. Fact 46th. The spacecraft named New Horizons passed by Pluto in the year 2015, delivering the initial detailed images. It was found that Pluto contains an icy formation referred to as a heart, which is an area shaped like a heart-shaped patch. This particular area reflects sunlight with greater intensity than the remaining surface and might be in a state of movement.
Fact 47th. Stars remain steady in space. They do not twinkle. The perceived twinkling is an effect caused by atmospheric distortions occurring on Earth. Outside of Earth's atmosphere, light travels unimpeded in a straight path, rendering stars motionless. Consequently, telescopes, such as the Hubble, are launched into orbit to achieve a clearer and more stable observation. Fact 48. Beneath an ice crust reaching up to 20 kilometers in thickness lies the ocean of Europa, a moon orbiting Jupiter. It is possible that geothermal vents, similar to the deep-sea smokers found on Earth, exist within this ocean. This characteristic positions Europa as one of the most promising candidates in the search for life beyond our planet. Fact 49th. The observable night sky represents just a small segment of the universe. Under optimal circumstances, the human eye can discern roughly 5,000 stars. Yet our galaxy alone contains in excess of 100 billion. We are observing through a confined aperture, comparable to a pea-hole into the expanse of space. Fact 50. The most remote celestial body ever photographed is the galaxy GNZ11. Its light has journeyed to us for over 13 billion years. We perceive it as it existed a mere 400 million years after the Big Bang, much like observing the universe in its infancy. 51st fact. The dust found in space could be more ancient than our sun. Dying stars emit stellar winds, a process that forms microscopic grains. These grains then traverse interstellar space for billions of years before eventually finding their way into planets, asteroids, or meteorites that land on Earth. Fact 52. The isotope helium-3, though rare on Earth, is a candidate for fueling future fusion reactors. The Moon's regolith contains substantially more of this isotope than our planet does. This characteristic positions the Moon as a potential energy repository for future generations. The 53rd fact states that the fastest star in the galaxy, designated S4716, orbits the black hole located at the center of the Milky Way. Its speed is approximately 8,000 kilometers per second, and its orbital period is only 4 years. This star functions like a cosmic projectile moving along the edge of an invisible chasm. Fact 54th. The atmospheric pressure on Venus's surface is 92 times that of Earth's. This is equivalent to being a kilometer underwater. Metals such as lead melt under these conditions. Probes, for instance Venera 13, operate for a maximum of 2 hours before their technology gives way to the heat and pressure. It is a 55th fact that space officially commences at an altitude of 100 kilometers above sea level, designated as the Kármán line. Airplanes and balloons are unable to ascend higher than this demarcation. Beyond this line, the atmosphere is rarefied to the point of zero, rendering aerodynamics inoperative. Only orbital velocities and engines are effective. Fact 56th. Certain stars originate as binary systems and later drift apart. Should one of them detonate as a supernova, the remaining star can become what is known as a runaway star. These independent celestial bodies journey across the galaxy at speeds of several hundred kilometers per second, unbound by any ties. Fact 57th. Dust devils are observed on Mars. These are whirlwinds up to a kilometer in height that lift red dust in a spiral. They are akin to tornadoes, but their origin is due to temperature differences on the surface, not storms. One such vortex incidentally cleaned the solar panels of the Spirit rover. Fact 58th. The James Webb Space Telescope is equipped to look through the dust and gas clouds that obscure the genesis of stars. Its infrared sensors enable it to explore areas that are inaccessible to telescopes like the Hubble. The very first photographs obtained by the telescope have already presented star-forming regions that were previously unobserved. Fact number 59. The existence of galaxies lacking dark matter has been confirmed. This revelation has raised questions about a fundamental cosmological model. Entities such as NGC 1052-DF act in an unexpected manner, which may compel a revision of the understanding of gravity across extensive scales. Fact 60. Cosmonauts undertaking lengthy space missions observe a monthly decrease in bone mass, amounting to approximately 1%. The absence of gravitational influence causes the skeleton to effectively begin to disintegrate. To mitigate this, they engage in hours of exercise on dedicated training apparatuses, though even these measures do not consistently avert the weakening of bones. Fact 61. Intergalactic space contains filaments, which are immense structures formed from gas, dark matter, and galaxies spanning hundreds of millions of light years. They constitute the cosmic web, an entity that connects everything within the universe. We reside inside one such filament, designated Laniakea. Fact 62. The satellite Titan is the only location in the solar system other than Earth where stable surface liquids are present. These are not water, but methane and ethane. Methane rains fall, hydrocarbon rivers flow, and lakes exist on Titan, forming a genuine cold analog of Earth's hydrosphere. Fact 63. The first documented interstellar body, the asteroid Oumuamua, is currently orbiting the Sun. It entered the solar system in 2017, showing rotation and acceleration without any apparent gas traces. The object's shape was similar to a cigar or a disc, and its origin is still not clear. Fact 64. Consider a scenario where Earth is as small as a grain of sand. In this context, the Sun would appear as large as an orange, with a separation of about 2 meters between them. The closest star, maintaining this scale, would be located almost 500 kilometers away. This illustration demonstrates that space, even when significantly scaled down, retains its immense proportions. Fact 65. It is a fact that the Milky Way is not standing still. It travels at a speed of around 600 kilometers per second. This motion is oriented towards a region that is described as mysterious, called the Great Attractor. What is located there is not known, but the gravity of this area pulls in thousands of galaxies. Fact number 66. On Jupiter, there are lightning strikes that are tens of times more powerful than those on Earth. They flash in the upper layers of the atmosphere, where continent-sized hurricanes are raging. Some discharges are so strong that they illuminate an entire hemisphere of the planet for a second, like a giant camera flash. Fact 67. Approximately every 30 million years, the solar system passes through the galactic disk. In these instances, the chance of collisions with comets from the Oort cloud escalates. Certain scientists associate mass extinctions on Earth with these periodic descents into the galaxy's dense zones. Fact 68. The imprints of astronauts made on the Moon over 50 years ago can still be seen. Because there is no atmosphere or wind on the Moon, nothing washes away the prints. If a meteorite does not wipe them out, they can last for millions of years. A silent mark of humanity's temporary visit. Fact 69th. GJ 1214b, an exoplanet, is situated in the Aquarius constellation. This celestial body is enveloped by dense clouds that prevent light penetration. Scientists postulate that it might be covered by a global ocean reaching depths of hundreds of kilometers. The surface temperature is estimated to be around 230 degrees Celsius. Fact 70. Asteroids are capable of having moons. The asteroid Ida, which orbits in the region between Mars and Jupiter, serves as an example, possessing a satellite called Dactyl. This was the inaugural detection of a satellite belonging to an asteroid, and it provided evidence that even diminutive celestial bodies can maintain their own systems. Fact 71. The WOW signal, captured in 1977, stands as one of the most puzzling radio intercepts ever recorded. It persisted for 72 seconds, emanating from the constellation Sagittarius. The signal was so robust and distinct that the observing scientist marked the printout with "Wow." Attempts to reproduce this signal proved futile. Fact 72nd. Stars possess the capability to explode on 2 occasions. In uncommon instances, subsequent to the initial supernova flash, the residual core undergoes collapse into a black hole. This black hole proceeds to absorb a segment of the ejected material, consequently provoking a secondary flash. Such an occurrence, referred to as fallback, has not yet been directly witnessed. Fact 73rd. The Oort cloud is situated at the boundary of the solar system. It is a massive congregation of icy material enveloping our system spherically to a distance of up to 100,000 astronomical units. This cloud acts as a repository for comets, and for some, the journey to the sun can span millions of years. Fact number 74. The duration of neutrinos from the 1987 supernova explosion was measured with such accuracy that it confirmed the existence of mass in neutrinos, however tiny. These particles stream through Earth in the billions every second, with virtually no interaction with matter. 75th fact, gravitational maneuvers are used by spacecraft to increase their speed. During a flyby of a planet, a probe essentially acquires some of its energy. The Voyagers, for instance, used this technique to gain momentum for leaving the solar system without the need for additional fuel. Fact 76th. There are pulsars, which are neutron stars, whose rotation is so stable that it is more accurate than atomic clocks. One such object, PSR B1937+21, performs nearly 642 revolutions per second and deviates by less than a nanosecond per year. They are utilized as natural beacons for navigation. Fact number 77. We observe the existence of hot Jupiters, which are gas giants that orbit their stars at a very close distance. They are so near that the temperature on their surface reaches 1,000 degrees. One such planet, HD 18973b, features an atmosphere with hurricanes moving at 7,000 kilometers per hour, and it may experience rainfall composed of glass drops. Fact 78. Pandora, a moon of Saturn, is referred to as the shepherd of the rings. It uses its gravity to keep particles within the F-ring, preventing them from scattering. Moons like Pandora and Prometheus actively shepherd the rings, ensuring their shape and density are maintained. The 79th fact posits that the universe is undergoing expansion, and this expansion is characterized by acceleration. This revelation from the close of the 20th century transformed cosmology. The cause is attributed to dark energy, a form of matter whose identity is unknown and which accounts for roughly 70% of all existing entities. Its fundamental composition remains an unsolved puzzle. Fact 80. Uranus emits an odor similar to rotten eggs. This is attributed to the hydrogen sulfide present in its atmosphere, the gas responsible for this distinctive smell. While this gas is dangerous in significant amounts on Earth, Uranus's extremely cold conditions prevent the odor from being detected, even if one were to try and smell it. Fact 81. The operation of electronic devices can be disrupted by cosmic rays. High-energy particles, when they enter microcircuits, possess the ability to modify information bits, thereby inducing malfunctions. For this reason, satellites, probes, and spacecraft are equipped with shielding, and their code is duplicated to provide a safeguard against random errors originating in space. Fact 82nd. At the heart of some galaxies, black holes with masses amounting to billions of suns have been discovered. TON 618 stands out as one such entity, with a mass estimated at around 66 billion solar masses. This object is so substantial that its accretion disk emits light more intensely than the entirety of the galaxy it resides within. Fact 83rd. Hallucinations can be triggered by space. Some astronauts have documented seeing flashes of light even when their eyes were closed. This is attributed to cosmic particles reaching the optic nerve or the brain. In light of the radiation present beyond Earth's magnetic field, such occurrences are not unusual. Fact 84th. Orbital stations are not stationary in the sky. Instead, they are in a continuous state of falling. The ISS maintains a velocity of nearly 28,000 kilometers per hour and is perpetually descending towards Earth. Yet, due to its high speed, it fails to make contact. This continuous process is the reason for the state of weightlessness experienced by those on board. Fact 85th. A notable observation is that some exoplanets exhibit retrograde orbits relative to their host star. This phenomenon challenges conventional theories regarding the formation of planetary systems. These unusual orbital paths might be a consequence of collisions or the accretion of external bodies, highlighting the surprising complexity of cosmic architecture. Fact 86th. Stars may endure for billions of years, but their end comes in mere days. A supernova explosion is when a star casts off its outer layers, leaving behind either a neutron star or a black hole. The object's brightness intensifies by millions of times, making it discernible from the opposite side of the galaxy. Fact 87th. We observe galaxies that rotate not in a spiral fashion, but akin to a whirlpool within a whirlpool. These are dual rotation systems, with the outer disk spinning in one direction and the inner disk in the opposing direction. Such configurations point to galaxy mergers and a complicated past of their interactions. Fact 88th. Magnetars are a specific classification of neutron stars, distinguished by an immensely powerful magnetic field. This field is 1 trillion times stronger than Earth's. Should such an object be positioned at the Moon's distance, it could result in the erasure of data from credit cards on Earth. They are indeed formidable entities among stellar remnants. Fact 89th. The heaviest known star is R136A1, found within the Tarantula Nebula. Its mass is roughly 300 times that of the Sun, and its luminosity is millions of times greater. These colossal stars have brief lifespans and terminate their existence through supernovae or hypernovae, resulting in the formation of black holes of immense scale. Fact 90. The exoplanet Kelt 9b holds the record for the highest temperature among known exoplanets. Temperatures on its daytime hemisphere reach 4,300 degrees Celsius, a figure nearly matching the surface temperatures of some stars. Its atmosphere is actively evaporating into space, and researchers are monitoring the planet's slow disappearance. Fact 91st. The Horsehead Nebula in Orion's constellation is a shadow formed by a dust cloud silhouetted against luminous gas. The distinctiveness of its shape comes from the radiation of nascent stars, which scorch the edges of the darkness. This serves as an instance of stars not only emerging from clouds, but also molding their shapes. Fact 92nd. Space mirrors represent a genuine project. During 1993, the Russian satellite Znamya-2 deployed a reflector, thereby lighting up the European night with a luminous area approximately 5 kilometers in diameter. This experiment indicated that directing sunlight to areas requiring it is feasible in the future. Fact 93rd. In the most tightly packed stellar groupings, the gap between stars can be as small as a few trillion kilometers, which is less than the span from the Sun to the nearest star. In these environments, the sky is never dark, and stars gleam with thousands of lights in every direction. Fact 94. Betelgeuse, a red supergiant in Orion, is set to become a supernova in the future. In 2019, it unexpectedly faded, causing a wave of speculation about an imminent explosion. It was discovered that the star had released a dust cloud, which then covered its light. The finale is approaching, but the exact date is a mystery. Fact 95th. In space, there are stars devoid of metals. The initial stars, designated as Generation 3, were made up almost solely of hydrogen and helium, leftovers from the Big Bang. No star of this kind has been identified, owing to their brief existence. Their presence is substantiated only indirectly, through the chemical makeup of the following generations. Fact 96th. A photon can emerge from the sun's core and journey to the surface over a span exceeding 100,000 years. Once it exits the sun, this occurs within 8 minutes, but before that, it reflects an infinite number of times in its interior, losing energy in the process. Each ray of light is an ancient traveler that started its journey prior to the Neolithic epoch. Fact 97th. Triton, a moon of Neptune, exhibits cryovolcanoes. These phenomena are characterized by eruptions of liquid nitrogen, ammonia, and methane, rather than lava. The geysers produce misty plumes that reach altitudes of up to 8 kilometers. The surface is adorned with strange patterns reminiscent of cracks on a frozen leather ball. Fact 98th. The sky filled with stars, as we perceive it, is not an immediate reflection of reality. The light emitted by certain cosmic entities necessitates millions of years to arrive at our vantage point. This implies that we are observing their historical state, and it is conceivable that some stars have, in fact, extinguished. A telescope functions not as a literal aperture into the cosmos, but as a mechanism that facilitates a journey into the past. Fact 99th. The existence of gravitational waves, which are disturbances in the fabric of space-time, is a known phenomenon. Einstein predicted them, but their first recorded detection happened as late as 2015. The event that caused them was the collision of two black holes. This represents a novel sensory experience in astronomy, as we have now heard the cosmos for the very first time. Fact 100. The ultimate atom in our body might have come into being within a star's core. Carbon, calcium, iron, all the heavier elements were created in stellar interiors and then spread out after supernova detonations. We are, quite literally, dust from stars, collected into a temporary configuration, and the universe is our true home, a fact rather than a figure of speech.